Omid Scobie's releases extracts from his upcoming book, Endgame, and a few interesting moments in there. And it's, again, difficult for Harry, it seems, and there's still communication with his dad and his brother is not happening, according to this book.
When families fall out, that kind of thing tends to happen. When it's Britain's first family, then it becomes sort of international news. And I find it all rather sad and depressing and unedifying that our leading family should display. I mean, people don't like the fact that Harry or Omid, Harry speaking through Omid, however we want to view this book, some people don't feel... They don't want him to sort of voice or wash his dirty linen in public. And I suppose his argument would be, or Omid's argument would be, that the royal family use our newspapers to put their side out without any kind of check or balance. And this is Harry's right of reply. It's just fairly unsavoury. You know, he calls his brother, trying to find out how he can go and see the Queen as she's dying. He doesn't know she's dead at the time, or it was literally just about to die. He arrives and she's already passed. And he says that William ignored the call. Well, they've fallen out.
But you say a lot of... You know, when death, that normally brings families together, though, doesn't it?
It can, or it can lead to further fighting. And I mean, the saddest thing for me in the book is that Omid's line is that this is beyond repair, that it can't be fixed. And even though I believe that you can have family relationships that can't be fixed, it would be very sad if we took that view now. You know, you've got these... they're basically fairly young men, you know, they're not yet in prime middle age, they've got their whole lives ahead of them. I would like to think some kind of bringing together is something that should be on the agenda, not ruled out.
But fix it with your dad before it's too late. That's the key human message. Nick, what are the other headline revelations in the book?
Well, we heard the idea about going to see, sadly, the Queen dying. Also, it's believed that, or William believes, that Prince Harry has been brainwashed by an army of therapists. These words are directly from the book, which comes out later this month. A couple of observations there. The very title of it, Endgame, that is at best something of conflict, if not actual war, which I think is desperately unfortunate. It was just 2 days ago that we learnt that Prince Harry phoned his father on his 75th birthday, and I think I said at the time it's quite remarkable that anyone would think not to phone their father on their birthday, but this was seen as a sort of maybe a gesture of peace and that could be some kind of harmony breaking out, and now we see this book published. I'm with Matthew totally on this. I think it's desperately sad. You don't like families to fight at the best of times, and sadly, again to Matthew's point, I fear that this is a death within the family that's actually possibly going to widen the chasm, not seek to remedy the problems.
Yeah, well, sticking with the royal family, the Princess of Wales is said to be using a feelings wheel with her younger son, Prince Louis, to express his emotions. What do you think about that, Matthew?
Well, I was on about 2 weeks ago discussing just this in my daughter's school, and this may come as a surprise to many of the public school educated newspaper editors that run our mainstream media, but they've been doing feeling wheels in schools, in state schools for years.
I've never heard of that.
And they're absolutely fantastic. So green and yellow, when my daughter comes out from school, she says, I say, well, how are you? And she said, I'm green and yellow. And that's sort of peaceful, serene and love. And then sometimes when, you know, discussing what's on the news, she'll say, you're getting too red, you're getting too red, you know, you need to be more green. So she's 4.5, and Kate has said, and I absolutely agree with her, that emotional intelligence is just as important as academic intelligence. There's no point being academically bright if you can't control or manage your life. You won't be happy. So I think it's a wonderful thing she's done, but you don't have to pay £14,500 a year for private school to have a feelings wheel. You can get it for free in your bog standard state school.
You could probably Google it.
I'm looking over Nick's shoulder. Is there a feelings wheel there, Nick?
How are you feeling today?
What are you today, Nick?
I think I'm trying to remember Matthew's colours. I think I'm feeling green with a little shade of blue. But look, the headlines that we all have to discuss on a virtual daily basis, anything, and I won't go to the story that I'm referencing, that causes such toxicity, such inflamed debate. And remember, the children are witnessing that in their houses as they hear the radio news, the TV news, they see their parents read it online or in newspapers. Anything that, as Matthew's referenced, anything that allows them to say that, to exploit, this has to be a positive thing. Now, you're right, it is probably the fact that the Princess of Wales is doing it will give it more prominence, but I say, hey, power to her elbow. That's great if it helps other children. It's absolutely something to be supported and embraced.
although Prince Louis doesn't need a feelings wheel, it's on his face. We know how he's feeling all the time because he wears his heart on his sleeve and on that cute little face too. Look at that.
He's so expressive, isn't he?
Oh, he's great.
Oh, he's lovely.
I think maybe it's just, I don't know, I see it in my little girl and I can't keep thinking, you project ahead and think, how many more years will I have this sort of innocent, everything's just truthful on her face, how she feels is right there. A couple more years.
Yeah.
Couple more years.
It goes, doesn't it? It goes after a while.
I have a 20-year-old who still can't hide the feelings on the face. It never goes.